former Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa declared our city the homeless capital of America in response to a census count which shared that we have 88,000 people living on our streets between the city and county. Was this yesterday, you might ask? 2006. I'm Kendall, and I'm running to replace incumbent leadership in Council District 13 because I believe it's time for a change. In 2006, I built the only educational agency in the nation to use music and arts-based learning to help homeless young adults break the cycle of homelessness. I located Hollywood Arts in Mayor Eric Garcetti's district office. Within a year, we had 300 young people attending, and we had moved a number of them into community colleges and internships. I knew that housing alone, while vital, would not help them truly break that cycle. And if it were not for meaningful quality of life interventions, we would do no better than we had before. I went out on the streets and I sat with them and I learned from them what they really wanted. And it was to be actors and musicians and fashion designers. And I realized that herein lied a great opportunity. And I learned about that opportunity because I simply engaged with them. And our failure to have these conversations are still what we struggle with today. I see it, just like you do. I see the pandemic spreading like wildfire and wildfire spreading like a pandemic. I see our crisis in policing. I see our legacy businesses struggling to stay afloat. And I see our community fractured. Ask yourself, is our city better now than it was 16 years ago? And if the answer is no, and if that number, 88,000 people in 2006, shocks you or concerns you, then I ask you to look at our current elected leadership. Unlike cities all over the world, our city hasn't evolved because of weak leadership that gets away with doing performative community acts instead of creating real change. I am not a political insider. I am simply a concerned community member like you. And I have worked within this substandard system for decades trying to create change. Los Angeles also gave me my family. I met an incredible young man in foster care through a group home in Hollywood. And not long after, he and his girlfriend gave me my grandson. I stepped away from the public sector to focus on my family. I started a small business around a fun tabletop item. And like you, I supported my family on one income. I know how important small businesses are, how vital they are to our economy, to creating jobs, and to anchoring our neighborhoods. My small business grew, and I broke through glass ceilings for women in international manufacturing. I am proud to be an LA business owner, and I pledge to help other small businesses access the same government tools I did to help expand your businesses internationally. Despite what I had accomplished as a small business owner, a foster mom, and a nonprofit leader, I still felt like there was more to be done. I started to volunteer with the National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurialism to high-risk, at-risk young adults in high schools throughout Los Angeles. And not long after, I became a coach with Defy Ventures, teaching entrepreneurialism to incarcerated and post-release women and men. I believe in my heart that all people can succeed if we support them and give them the tools. Rather, we share the tools equitably. I am running for City Council District 13 in 2022 because I see again that something must be done. And so do the constituents of our district who signed a letter, a petition, begging for our City Council member to take action around the encampments in Echo Park Lake. 200 riot-armed officers under the cover of darkness is one way to take action, but it is not the best way. It is an inhumane and performative act that was an embarrassment for our city around the nation. And we are no closer now to understanding if we ever even helped anybody. Scandal after scandal has plagued our city's leadership, starting with the unimaginable amount of power in private real estate developers that has led 2 city council members to indictment. And this is why I'm running for city council, because we are no closer now than we were when former Mayor Villaraigosa declared us the capital of homelessness in America in 2006 than we are today. I am running because I care about my grandchildren's future, because I care about all of our kids' future, because protecting the climate is much more than banning plastic straws. It's about having the hard conversations with cities around the nation who are grappling with issues like these and making the best decisions for our city. I'm running because I believe we need to cool our city, which is about more tree canopy, more walkable and bikeable streets. It's about doing a thorough audit of our greenhouse gas emissions. Our city one of the very few in the nation to have such a magnificent breadth of diversity in wildlife and greenery, needs a chief ecology officer to protect what we have, not just as an accessory to the city, but because these are working components of what makes our city unique. These are core to our city's health. I'm running because I care about both people and animals, which means we do more honest auditing of our animal cruelty task force, because our companion animals helped us weather a pandemic, and the least we can do is give them our city's protection. I believe in our neighborhoods. I believe in us as Los Angelinos, and that means building up our neighborhoods, small business development, historic preservation, community festivals, pop-up music, murals, al fresco dining, and slow streets. I'm running because I listen. I hear your frustration on both sides of the fence. We are not better than we were 16 years ago, and it's time to replace reactive, performative leadership with no new ideas, with proactive, fresh, and energized new leadership. Our city needs us to work collaboratively and creatively to create real change. Let's tap that passion and energy and break the status quo of incumbency together. We are a city which has the power to telegraph worldwide how a just, fair, and vibrant democracy should work, not just how it shouldn't. Join me. Together, we can write a new future for Los Angeles. I'm Kendall, and I'm running to replace incumbent leadership in Council District 13 in 2022. I have hope, I have new ideas, and I hope you'll join me. Together, we can make Los Angeles the city we all deserve. Thank you.